Hello there, this is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. Thank you for joining me and my chief's screaming voice today. These are the three cards in the Time for Cake August 2024 paper pumpkin kit, and they're not alternatives. They're the cards that you make using the contents of the kit. It coordinates beautifully with that Cake Fantasy stamp set, which I don't have, which would be great for all alternatives as well. So again, this is Time for Cake, and I wanted to do these cards with you because we have a fun fold at the beginning that might confuse you, and this could also be like what not to do with this card kit video because I'm going to make a couple mistakes on this card and on the third one. I didn't fix them, I winged it pretty much, and that's how it worked out. So you get a ton of stuff. We have two stamp sets this time around, and it coordinates with those dies. We'll have new dies next month, and I'll get out info to you with that when I get it. And the colors in this card kit are Moody Mauve, Night of Navy, Pecan Pie, Petal Pink, Pretty in Pink, Wild Wheat, and Rose Gold. I would never think to put those colors together. And so the first stamp set you get is, of course, the Time for Cake stamp set. And then the bonus stamp set there is those numbers and year after year. In some of the sentiment strips are coming up. There's a banner one. The banner in that year after year stamp set coordinates beautifully, as does that Hooray. Those are stickers, but will cut out the same thing. And then you get the rose gold twine there. Not twine, but I'll figure out the name. All that adhesive, a Night of Navy cube, and then our card bases. Now that's going to be for our first project. And what is that? Rose gold thread. I'm not quite sure the formal name of it. But anyhow, I do make it, work out in the long run. And I have to tell you, the past several months of our paper pumpkin kits, they've been a lot more detailed lately, which I think is a good thing. Feel like I can do more alternatives for you that way. And I do wish I had that stamp set to really take this one out of the box, but I don't. But we'll wing it on Saturday. That is the banner that I was talking about. So you get tags, a banner, a sentiment strip. You get 2 sheets of those cake strips because, there's 9 cards in here. And you do 3 of each card. And there's more stamping with this kit than normal besides the sentiment. I mean, we're going to be stamping on those candles. And those are all punch outs there. The hoorays that you see to the top right, those are stickers. So I think we are maybe sort of kind of going to get started now with our first card. So while I'm reading the directions, it normally tells you where to put Stampin' Dimensionals or dots or tape or stuff like that. And with this card, I did not pay attention to where all those stamped dimensionals are on the back and completely blew it. So it's more like kind of listen to me rather than do what I do with this card. But it does work out, barely. But it does. It could have been better, yeah. So we know that when we're going to do, that's going to be the back of our first card. It's not a card, it's just, it's a panel basically. We know that that is going to be adhered down to the back, and there's all these creases, and don't do that, don't do it, don't adhere it down. There's all these creases, and it's going to be like a mountain and valley fold. But once you know that mentally that bottom panel goes, that one there, it goes down, then you just fold it on top of itself pretty much, and that's how you get that fold down. I mean, making it from scratch might be one thing as far as getting the measurements together, but with these kits, you don't have to do it because it's done for you. And there's, the mountains and the valleys and the peaks and valleys and everything else. And this is when I took that tag and I have that great sentiment there. I love it when they have 2 different fonts in a sentiment. And if you're a new subscriber to Paper Pumpkin, you get that specialized block in your first kit. So I got that down with my full-size pad of Night of Navy because I just put the cubes in a drawer and use them, pretty much whenever. And with Night of Navy Blue, you want to clean it up immediately because it does kind of turn, it stains your stamps. It's a real fussy color too, like red. So with these here, there's 3 different candles in there. I was looking for that one. I don't have it mounted, so yeah, I went looking for it, and because my desk is a mess when I normally do these. I missed a clip somewhere, stamped them, they're perforated, and you want to put the candle, at the bottom, and then you still have like that little flame on top. And I'm going to be taking the other 2 sizes of the candles after I stamped the sentiment there last count, because yeah, I can completely relate to that being over 60. No, I guess I did use the same small candle inside. And then we're going to be doing another one over there, a larger one on the right. And like I said, there's 3 different sizes. We are only using 2 in the kit, but there's always leftover stamps and sentiments and images, whatever you need from every kit, unless you like build it up from square one and do exactly as the kit tells you to do. So I know I'm going to be playing with this card a little bit, and like I said, blue's fussy, so I took my heat tool, setting 1, and went ahead and he set that real quick. And that's when I realized, okay, I so blew it. That thread should have gone underneath our little fold there. And I'm going to mess with this like you would not believe. You're going to get a headshot because I try to like lick that. Well, you know how you like lick the ends of ribbons sometimes, or that just sounds so gross. Anyhow, we all do stuff, crazy stuff like that. So I'm getting it through there. I'm going to tie it into a knot. And if you look at the directions before I fold all that up, because we did stamp 3 of those candles, I should have put the other 2 inside. I'll get it fixed sooner or later. But I'm kind of stuck with that, full panel wrap around there when it should have only been the inside panel. So I got that done. I'm going to snip the edges and then realize, okay, I missed the other 2. I don't want to miss the third one. Bring it back in. And I have a mini Stampin' Dimensional at the top, but at the bottom, I cut a mini in half because it's a little bit too skinny down there. So that is card number 1. Card number 2, I managed to get that down with, it went down like the directions said it should go down. So I'm pulling out 3 of those little, embellishments, ephemera, to line up on the cake, which I will do after I get our sentiment stamped down onto that little strip there. And this one says, it's time for cake. And I think that this card's just really, really, really super cute. So as I get all this together, I got a great video of Patrick Mahomes looking and waving at us, and it was just the coolest thing ever. I will try to sneak that in here at the end. Great game though, but oh my gosh, 2 seconds and 1 point. Almost cried, but Darla and I had a fantastic time. So I'm lining our little perforated pieces up there onto our piece of cake, top and bottom, so that way I know where to place the middle one there. I love the patterns in this paper pumpkin kit, and like I said earlier, the colors I would never ever think about putting together, but that wild wheat is growing on me, and so is that moody mauve, because that mauve is just so, I am not a pastel person at all. It's early 90s, and just, yeah, kind of like that big farmhouse thing that's going on right now. Everyone loves it. I'm tired of it. I'm going back to mid-century modern. And, so that's where I'm at. I'm popping down 3 mini Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of our sentiment there. And then I'm going to put that on top of our card there. And you want to make sure it's even, because even though the cake slices or layers are to an angle, you want your sentiment to be straight. So I get that down. I'm going to pull out that rose gold fork, put some liquid adhesive on the back of that, get that down underneath our little cake there. And then I'm going to pull in a candle that was stamped from the last card that still had left over that I forgot to put on. And then pop that atop where the faux frosting is there. And that's going to be over towards the left hand side. And I did the same thing with the Stampin' Dimensionals, a mini one at the top, and then I cut a mini one in half to get that down at the bottom. And that completes card number 2. So for card number 3, I went ahead and got one each of the balloons, and this time tied it into a knot off screen, or not into a knot, a bow, and pulled out one of our sentiments there along with that banner. Now remember, the banner in the year after year stamp set here goes perfectly. I mean, it's a solid fit all the way around. So we have options if you want to do something in the background, and I'm going to use that shape in one of our alternatives. That much I do know, because I got an idea about that when I was doing this voiceover. So this is a part, do not pop Stampin' Dimensionals right now on the back of this panel here. You want to leave that till pretty much the very end. It did work out though, and once I realized okay, here I blew it again, I remembered where I put the dimensionals, and I got past the point of no return like the first card. And I was like, oh gosh, it looked kind of bare. Then I looked at the sample again, and I had missed 2 balloons. So we're going to stamp down. There's 2 balloons in this stamp set. You have one with flowers on it, and another one kind of, with stripes. It's kind of whimsy. And I got really, really, really good impressions there, because I kind of kept them off the Stampin' Dimensionals a little bit. But hey, it still worked out. I'm good with that. I've seen other people do it, and I'm glad it worked out for me. So I'm laying down the other balloon right now. And we made it through that panel there. Want to get that cleaned up real quick. And then all we're going to do from here on out pretty much is put down our sentiment and our balloons. I have 3 on the large one, 2 on the smaller ones. And I do put 2 mini Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of the sentiment towards the middle, so it can go right over where I'm going to put that bow there. But this one was just super easy to do. Now, most of the time with Paper Pumpkin, it's just you stamp the sentiment, you throw on some kind of embellishment, a few dots, maybe a bow, and you're good to go. But with these cards, you're getting a lot more patterns, a lot more steps, and it's still great for a beginner crafter, a newbie, whatever. And it's also easier for me to create alternatives. And like I said, I really do wish I had that Cake Fancy kit, but we're going to get through it without it. And I'm sure that I will have a couple cards and a tag for you, maybe a fun fold, but you have to leave me a comment and let me know what you want to see, because I do this stuff for you. And I hope that it gives you inspiration and encourages you to get out of the box and just have some fun. But let me know what you want. So there are our cards. And like I said, I think they turned out really well with the colors and the design. Fantastic kit. So thank you for joining me today for this quick drop-in. And I will be back on Saturday with our alternatives. And until then, have a good one.